Hi, I'm Jeff Vogel for Buzz TV Network. Welcome to a special news analysis of an extraordinary week in Indian River County for Vero Beach and Sebastian and up and down the Treasure Coast. I was going to ask Channel 1098's Whitney Martinez and Ariel O'Brien to join me for this news analysis today, but I wasn't sure if the optics of having three pretty much white people talking about race relations would be the absolute best image that we want to put forward right now. Also, I was going to ask the co-owner of Buzz TV Network, Alex Zuluetto, to join me, but Alex prefers not to appear and talk on camera, and when he does, he prefers it to be in Spanish. So here I am, it's just you and myself today talking about this extraordinary week that took place in Indian River County. We have two subjects that we want to talk about today. On Thursday of this past week, the George Floyd rally took place commemorating George Floyd and the Black Lives Matter movement. That protest rally took place in downtown Vero Beach. We're going to talk about that. And the second event that took place here on the Treasure Coast, and in particular in Indian River County, was the silence coming from Indian River County administrators this week regarding the coronavirus. And the public seems to, in many cases, now be abandoning their social distancing protocols. You go into stores and fewer people are wearing masks now. More people are gathering in groups now, and local health officials are concerned. They have good reason to be. And this week, the county's regularly scheduled weekly press briefing for the coronavirus update in Indian River County was not canceled. It wasn't scheduled. It was just not held. There was silence coming from county administrators today, this week rather, just as we are now experiencing an increase in the cases of coronavirus and an increase in deaths here on the Treasure Coast and in Indian River County. So we'll be talking about the coronavirus here in Indian River County and the Indian River County administrative response to that, or lack of response, as the case may be. But first, let's talk about the George Floyd rally, demonstration, protest that took place in downtown Vero Beach. It happened this past Thursday, and it was one of those terribly rainy days like we've been having the past week, but the rain stopped, and in the early afternoon, the crowds began to gather. 200, 300, 400 people gathered. White, black, brown, all races, all ages, coming together, men and women, children, coming together to recognize the death of George Floyd. This taking place while memorial services were going on for him, and to bring attention to Black Lives Matter, the movement that not only wants attention drawn to the disparity of justice between the races, not just attention drawn to it, but wants concrete action taken. This past Thursday's rally in downtown Vero Beach was inspiring in many, many ways. And it was attended by local officials and, as I said, hundreds of people who marched, who rallied, who chanted, who knelt in silence together. We'll talk more about that rally when we come back with this special news analysis of an extraordinary week in Indian River County. I'm Jeff Vogel. I'm Jeff Vogel for Buzz TV Network News. This program also being seen on Comcast Xfinity, channel 1098 in Indian River County and the North Treasure Coast, serving 60,000 homes and businesses from Mico in the north to Fort Pierce in the south. We are Indian River County's only cable TV station featuring local news, local business, local information that's of interest to you here in Indian River County. And in this special news analysis, we're talking about this extraordinary week in Indian River County, the coronavirus response, and also the George Floyd rally and demonstration protest that took place in downtown Vero Beach last Thursday. As I mentioned, hundreds of people gathered together. The marching went on for 4 or 5 blocks, city blocks. They marching along 14th Avenue, 4 or 5 people abreast, marching around and being escorted, greeted, welcomed, helped by the Vero Beach Police Department. The Vero Beach Police Chief David Curry is to be commended for being there, but he wasn't there to oversee, he wasn't there to supervise, he wasn't there to make sure that everything was orderly, he wasn't there to make sure that nothing bad happened or that violence didn't break out. Vero Beach Police Chief David Curry was at the rally on Thursday to be a participant, and he was a full participant. He marched with all of the demonstrators. He chanted with them. At one point, he helped to lead the chanting. The marchers carried homemade signs with them expressing their feelings, their frustrations right now, as the whole nation reels from so many deaths and occurrences that seem to be happening all at once, or at least we're just learning about them all at once, happening between police departments and innocent citizens of color, and the disparity of the treatment of people who are arrested. And it's well chronicled in police reporting, in the actual reports, the number of people of color who are injured, who are killed, who die while in police custody. And this rally was intended to bring attention to that. People's signs expressed their personal frustrations that they were having. Notably, there was no one from the Sheriff's Department at the scene. Sheriff Darrell Lohr was not there. There were no sheriff's deputies there, and that may have been a conscious decision that law enforcement made so that it didn't appear like there was an overwhelming police force of some kind at the rally. So Sheriff Darrell Lohr is to be excused from the rally based on the fact that we don't know what decision-making went in place for that. But Vero Beach Police Chief David Curry is to be commended for his participation in the rally itself. There was a small demonstration that took place earlier this past week in front of the Indian River County Sheriff's Complex. That was a very orderly rally that went on. It was much smaller, but well organized and, as I said, orderly. It was not a disruptive rally, again, bringing attention to the disparity that exists, that is factual, between, in our justice system, the way that people of color and white people are treated. There does not appear to be equal justice under the law. And that is what these rallies across the country are bringing attention 2. The highlight is not a good word, but the most reverent moment of the rally was a full 8-minute moment of silence with all participants on one knee. The 8 minutes being the length of time it took for George Floyd to be suffocated by a police officer's knee pressed against his neck. The rally ended peacefully, and the big question is, where do we go from here? What does it mean? It's not enough to be aware that there was a problem. We all need to address that problem in big ways and in small ways. I'm Jeff Vogel. You're watching Buzz TV Network, a special news analysis of a very extraordinary week in Indian River County. We'll be back with more right after this. I'm Jeff Vogel with Buzz TV Network and Xfinity Channel 1098, serving Indian River County on Comcast Cable. So glad you joined us. We're talking today about two extraordinary events that took place in Indian River County this past week. One of them being the peaceful and moving memorial rally protest that took place in downtown Vero Beach for George Floyd and the Black Lives Matters movement. We were at the point of discussing where this brings us. No one alive today is necessarily to blame for where we are as a society. It's the result of hundreds of years of systemic discrimination built into the system. And so in taking it apart, in changing it, it's going to take a long time and a lot of changes that we all need to make in big ways and small ways. And I would just mention that each of us is responsible. If you're part of an organization, a civic organization, a club, a garden club, a sorority, a civic organization, and you have a meeting and you look around the room and everyone is of the same color, there's something wrong. And not doing something about it is allowing yourself to be part of the problem and not part of the solution. So in every social circumstance that we're all in, we need to take the time to seriously think about, is this the picture we want? Is this the society that we want to build? And wherever possible, when you see a situation where there is no disparity, you need to work to bring that disparity to you, to create it, to find opportunities. A perfect example of this, unfortunately, are the number of candidates running for office in Indian River County. If you go to the Supervisor of Elections website and look through the candidates, there's no disparity. There's nothing there but a group of white people running for office. There's something wrong there. We're not doing something within our society. Indian River County has been wonderful. This rally on this past Thursday was wonderful. It was the community in unity. It was a great experience. But we all need to do more. Just being aware of the problem isn't enough. Where you work, if you look around and there's no disparity within the culture, whether it's male, female, people of color, people of different languages, people from different backgrounds, that is where we draw our strength, is from diversity and variety within our society. So I would urge you to, in every way, every small way, every large way that you're able, to make those changes that need to be made. If you look at economics, yes, equal pay today is great, but it doesn't make up for the hundreds of years of accumulated wealth in the United States. Which is controlled by a small minority of white people. Accumulated wealth is something that will take generations to equalize across the country. So there's much work to be done, and we each can do a little bit every day. Wherever you see disparity, seek out variety. Seek out, when you don't see variety or disparity, seek out more rather than less. Expand your horizons whenever possible. Next topic up on this special news analysis of an extraordinary week in Indian River County is the coronavirus update or lack of update this week coming from Indian River County officials. We'll have more in just a moment. Don't go away. Thanks for watching. I'm Jeff Vogel for Buzz TV Network and Comcast Xfinity, channel 1098, serving Indian River County. Comcast channel 1098 goes to 60,000 homes on the Treasure Coast, but also for those of you that don't have Comcast cable, you can watch us on buzztvnetwork.com, always streaming on our website. Each week, county officials have been having a press conference to let the public know what's happening in Indian River County with regard to the coronavirus spread. And just as predicted by scientists everywhere, just as everything now is opening up, business is back open for business and fewer people out wearing masks, people gathering together. Even at this rally on Thursday, some people were wearing masks, some were not. Social distancing protocols were probably broken at that rally. And I go to the store, people hold the door open for me, which means I have to pass right by them. I'd rather they didn't hold the door. But people are getting back to normal, what they're doing. I see a lot of people in grocery stores picking up items and then putting them back. If you're not going to buy it, please don't pick it up. Don't handle the merchandise if you can help it. So all this is going on, and as a result of all of this, cases of coronavirus are now going up, just as predicted by health officials throughout this stay-at-home period. They have been warning that if we didn't keep it up for long enough and we returned to normal before the stay-at-home orders, that the spread of the coronavirus would increase. That's happening now. It's difficult to say how quickly. It's difficult to say if the warmer weather will tend to slow it down or not. Nationally, this past week, we passed 100,000 dead from the coronavirus. By week's end, it was 110,000. An increase of another 10%, another 10,000 people died in 1 week. There was big news about the 100,000, and then the news cycle tended to turn to the George Floyd rallies and demonstrations and that were going on across the country. And so after the 100,000, people kind of just yawned, perhaps, in terms of the numbers, or paid no attention. We're at 110,000 now. Where will we be in 8 weeks? Here in Indian River County, the number of cases are going up. In the state of Florida, the cases that had been coming down are now going up. The number of deaths are rising. In the state of Florida, most cases are concentrated Unfortunately, in the Miami area, if you live in South Florida, Miami-Dade, Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, those are very hard-hit counties. It slowly gets better as you head north up the Treasure Coast. Here in Indian River County, we've done extraordinarily well. But now numbers are going up. And this past week, the county chose not to have their press conference. The week before that, they moved the location of the press conference without adequately notifying the press that it was a change of location over the past 2 months. This past week, they didn't even send out a notice that they weren't having a press conference. I myself had to send a text message to Assistant County Administrator Brian Sullivan to find out if there was going to be a press conference or not. There was no announcement that even though it had to been the norm for 2 months, they weren't going to do it. This was the week they needed to have a press conference. I was told a month ago at the press conference that they're taking their cues from the White House. Silence is not a good response to the coronavirus. Silence, just as things are opening up, people are getting back to their regular lives and cases are going up, is the time to keep the public informed. I urge the county to hold their press conference again this coming week. Thanks for watching this news analysis. I'm Jeff Vogel for Buzz TV Network and for Xfinity Channel 1098 serving Indian River County.